Howdy everyone. What we're going to be playing here is a highly modified version of the Star Wars Saga Edition D20 game. I say heavily modified because there's a lot of house rules that we're adding in simply to make the game more fun for people that aren't Jedi. I've played this game for a couple of years and I've noticed that unless you're using the Force, the game is ridiculously hard. Being that the Force is super broken, you don't even have to roll most times to see if you hit. You just roll automatically to see how much damage you do.
Yeah.
So I've grandfathered in a bunch of rules to kind of make the game more balanced for non-Force using characters. It actually winds up buffing the non-Force using characters a bunch, but also buffs up all their enemies. So I'm fairly sure all the balance issues between players and NPCs will be worked out. All in all, it's going to be a lot quicker style of play, a lot more streamlined. Characters and NPCs alike are going to go down a lot quicker than they did in the old Star Wars Saga Edition.
All right.
This campaign is actually taking place about 5 years before Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So it's taking place before any of the movies, before any of the big characters are in there, the roles that you recognize them in, but you still will be seeing some familiar faces. Not in any major roles, of course, but there might be cameos by some canon characters. This is an Infinities campaign, so basically what that means is the actions in this campaign don't have to mirror what actually happens in the real world. So if, for example, these guys decided they wanted to hike over to Naboo, kill Senator Amidala, and burn the city of Thebes, that would be allowable, simply because we don't care what happens in the rest of the movies. Anyways, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're playing.
All right, so let's start.
All right, so my name's Will, and I'm playing as a Keldor heavy guy.
Heavy weapons guy.
Heavy weapons dude.
This is
My
Sasha.
name's Vax Tehlok.
My name's Hunter. I'm playing a human sniper named Tannis.
And I'm John Hunter. I'm actually GMing this game, but because they wanted 3 players, I'm also playing HK-53, a droid designed to fill in the gaps with their character builds. Supplement their teamwork.
Alright, let's hit this thing off, dude.
Alright, so as of last game, everything we did was basically just set up our character sheets. As previously mentioned, Hunter Lee's character, Tannis, is being built toward a sniper type role. He's a human. Then your Keldor is built to be a heavy weapons guy.
Correct.
And then my droid is basically a skill monkey. So anything that involves hacking any computers, any sort of engineering, setting up demolitions or anything like that, that's what he'll be taking care of.
All right.
So as far as this game setting goes, this is going to be taking place in the Old Republic about 20 years before the Clone Wars get started. So this is after, all the great Sith battles and the big Civil War and Cold War that's going on. But it's still to the point where Sith are extremely rare. Most people think they've actually been completely wiped out. Of course, people in the right positions do know that the Sith still do exist. It's just not common knowledge.
Are we talking about the Sith as a race or a Sith
no, we're talking
as an
about
ideal?
Sith as like the faction.
Okay.
And we're talking about real Sith, not just like the Dark Jedi, like
the
Ruler
pure
2
bloods
Sith,
and
those red face.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the race is still there. I'm talking about like the like Darth Sidious.
You're talking about like the
style,
old game,
like,
the Old Republic. It's after that.
Yeah, it's after that.
Yeah.
It's about 25-ish years before the start of the Clone Wars. So we're actually about 25 years before Episode 1, which is where Darth Maul kills the crap out of Qui-Gon Jinn. So, in other words, it's before the movies happen, but it's still close enough that you might be seeing some familiar faces.
Okay.
So as far as what your character's actual backstory is or anything like that, I'll leave that up to you guys. The only set points in time are that at some point in time, you guys volunteered for selection into the Republic Special Forces unit. Whether you were mercenaries beforehand or actual soldiers, at some point in your character's past, they volunteered for this type of selection to form a group of unconventional soldiers. About 3 weeks ago, your character's last memory was either whatever you guys were doing at the time. I'll let you guys decide. But basically, you guys felt a sting on your neck, and everything blacked out.
Man, that was really interrupting my stroke in time, man.
All right.
Which is hard to do as a Keldor. So, it's even more important that you don't interrupt me.
Alright, so if you guys want to give any character background information right now, you can if you want to. You don't have to.
We'll start off with Hunter.
As far as physical descriptions go, you can hold off on that. Just like a little bit of information of where your character's coming from. If you have anything, if you don't, it's cool. You can figure that out later on.
Can't really think. Where did I say my guy was from? Did I even say anything? Oh, Corellia. I'll base something off of that in a little bit. I'll come up with something.
Alright, cool. Well, do you have anything?
Not really.
Alright. So, basically, last thing that you guys remember was a sting on your neck and then everything going black.
Oh, we got Shanghai. Okay.
Took some rupees. I mean, what?
We unintentionally took some rupees.
Anyways, you guys wake up to a jolt. Feels kind of like, you know, when you're on a roller coaster and you start doing that down slope, how you feel your stomach rise
Start
up
going
into
down.
your stomach rise up in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you guys feel a similar situation and you regain consciousness. First, everything's kind of blurry to you. You can't really tell what's going on. As your vision starts to clear, you realize that you're in a fairly small room and that you guys are not alone. You can see where your characters are placed here on the map. But long story short, there's 12 people in this room, lined up against the wall, similarly to the way you guys are. Basically, Clone Wars style. It looks like the interior of a dropship. You know, you're hooked up into little harnesses, and then behind you on the far wall, there's a line of 4 droids. And then on the far side of the room, there's a guy wearing golden armor.
It's really badass. All right.
Yeah, that's right. You guys get the feeling that you guys are moving. So, provided you have enough wisdom to tell which way is left and which way is right, you guys get the feeling that you're inside of a vehicle.
You've got like 17 wisdom
Yeah.
plus 3 bonus. You figure this out.
Should
man.
we stay what our stats are?
No.
Okay.
You don't need to say what your stats are. That really just plays effect in game.
Okay. So what do I?
You're making a perception check.
Making
I
a
guess.
perception check.
Yep. So go ahead and roll a d20 for your perception checks.
That's
D20.
Yep, that's
one
the
of these.
two-sided dice.
All right.
the one with the most little.
All right. We got a 19.
Ooh, okay. Hunter, you gonna roll yours?
Sure, why not? You've already figured it out, Will.
All right. Well, both of you rolled
Who says
high
I'm going
enough.
to tell you, Hunter?
Will, you rolled high enough
Figure
on
out
your
fingers
on your
the plan.
perception check to figure out that you're in a dropship. It's probably about the size of the Republic gunships that come out later in the war.
Sweet.
And you can also tell you're in low atmo, probably flying through some heavy clouds, just
Mhm.
based on the way that the vehicle's pitching and turning. You can also hear the sound of raindrops hitting up against the side of the dropship and the sound of thunder rolling. Hunter, you figure out you're on a dropship and that you're in atmo. You can't hear all that other shit. You're just like, all right, I'm on this dropship.
Sort of moving.
If you guys want to describe your character's physical appearance now,
I'll go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Hunter?
Okay. I don't know if either of y'all have seen that one Imperial Agent character I made in the Old Republic game. Yeah, it was sort of slightly tan, somewhat square jaw, blonde hair, not
Blue
sort of
eyes,
short.
fist raised to the sky.
Swastika tattooed on his
Green.
belly button.
green-eyed,
Are you a woman or this time or a man?
Tannis, male.
Okay.
Anyway,
I mean, usually.
and and a small bit of cybernetic work to sort of patch up a really bad scar
All right.
beside the face.
Okay, so I'm a Keldor.
Are those the ones with the button?
He looks
Yes,
like a Plo Koon.
I look just like Plo Koon.
So ugly as
You know, some
sin.
people are actually
We-
like, Vax, you look exactly like Plo Koon. And I'm like, no, I don't.
You think we all look alike?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it
You
the
think-
mask?
Is it because everyone on Doran looks the same? You think we all look the same? I'm 33 years old, 5'9", and I weigh 136 pounds.
So you're fairly slim framed.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot
but
to
I
count
got
my
a
weight
beer
and
gut.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's that. Should we describe the equipment or?
Yeah, you can go ahead and describe whatever.
Well,
sort of
let's
equipment
let you
have on
describe your guy first, and
Um,
we'll describe equipment.
My droid, same as all the other droids lined up along the wall. It's actually a fairly small droid. Basically, if you guys seen the first Transformers movie, you know Frenzy, the little Decepticon thing that transforms into the stereo. It's a fairly similarly sized droid. It's obviously
Is that
built.
the little midget one?
Yeah, it's about this tall, about 3 feet tall.
Yeah, the one with the flings, the little shurikens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
But all the droids are actually folded up into a much smaller size, just kind of leaned back up against the wall in storage compartments. As far as physical size goes, as I said, it's going to be about 3.5 feet tall once it's fully activated. Looks like it weighs about 110 pounds.
Alright.
You guys can see hints of different types of surveillance and diagnostic equipment sticking out of it.
Can I roll to poke one of those things?
If you want.
Okay, cool. Let's describe our equipment. Let's see, I have a standard blaster rifle, long-range comlink, and I have a standard scope on rifle.
My weapon is a light blaster repeater. I have a jetpack and 2 med packs.
Cool.
Sweet.
Looking at the other teams as you look on down the line, you can tell by the tokens what the types of characters are. The first group closest to you has a human, looks like he has some cybernetic implants and a Gamorrean. Next group is a female human and a Trandoshan, and then the third group furthest away from you has a dark-haired male human and a Twilight female in armor.
So we're like a Star Wars version of Motley Crue.
Yeah, pretty much. You
Who
get
got
the idea.
kidnapped.
Yeah, who got kidnapped?
That none of these people have been in conventional military units for their entire life. So these these look like people that are basically from the fringes of society.
You know, if we volunteered for
From
this,
fairly
why
rough
didn't
crowds.
I might need to ask someone that in the future. Okay,
So what's going on? What are we doing?
You guys are basically all
we're just flying.
strapped down in your seats.
Okay. The end.
See
See you next time.
We should probably examine the one guy who's not strapped down and see if he's
All right. I'll roll.
you know,
I'll roll.
we could see check to see if he's examining us to make sure we're not going anywhere, or if he's just looks like some sort of authority figure who's just here to brief us on.
All right. So let me perception check.
That would be what
Yes.
that is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. 13.
And what's your modifier?
Modifier is
3.
So you add whatever this is, so 3.
3. All right.
So you'd have rolled a 16.
Yeah.
Are you gonna roll anything, or you just want to go off it is?
Let's see if I do better. 5. I stare at my shoes.
All right.
Hunter stares at
Do you
the
have any-
ceiling.
do you have any modifier for that?
No.
0. Okay.
I tell Hunter to look right, and he
Hunter,
looks left.
What you can tell basically is this is a middle-aged guy. Looks like he's seen some shit. He's kind of grizzled, got a couple of facial
Oh,
scars. and
skill
he's wearing-
bonus 5.
Oh, okay. So you
So
did
10.
all right. 10. You can tell that he looks like a career soldier, like somebody that's been in the military, at least in conflict his whole life. He's got short cropped hair, wearing gold battle armor. It looks like it's been through some
So
some
little
action.
pits and scars in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your role, you can tell a little bit better. He looks like he's about 45 to 47 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Human. Can't exactly tell where he's from, but just his facial features and everything looks like he's from Concord Dawn, which, since you guys don't know, probably is one of the moons that orbits Mandalore.
Oh, okay.
His armor is Mandalorian, but it looks like it's a little bit dated.
Jerry
so basically, it looks like it was armor that was used during the actual Sith Wars, and it's kind of been pieced together and maintained by somebody that obviously wasn't a professional weapons or armor smith.
All right. So who's?
As
I'm the
far
one
as-
with the charisma. I should
As far
probably
as you
go
can
sneak
tell, what
Yeah,
he's
I was gonna
doing
say.
is he's basically just looking over the groups, waiting for everybody to come to. You can see the other people are starting to wake up as well.
All right.
in. Alright, I guess I should. If I'm gonna talk to him, I probably have to do a charisma check or something. No.
You can just talk to
Oh,
him.
okay.
Say hey.
I guess I just need to ask him.
But you
what
gotta
we're
sound
doing.
like you're drunk.
Seriously?
Yeah, you do.
I have to pretend.
You do have to pretend. It's a role playing game.
Oh, my character's still
Yeah, you're all still losing.
Good. Hey, you, the armor. What are we doing? What?
He looks over at you, kind of has a amused look on his face.
I would too.
Kind of like you would, if you saw a toddler kind of fall down.
Or a person that's been
you don't want-
roofied.
You don't want to outright laugh, but it's still kind of funny. But he looks around, sees everybody starting to come to, and says, well, since you guys are all starting to wake up, the reason why you've all been brought here together is because you guys have been selected to go through the selection process for the Republic Non-Conventional Special Forces Unit. Basically, you guys are people that have been brought in from all different walks of life because you have skill sets unique to your occupations, skill sets that the conventional military doesn't have. You guys have been volunteered, obviously, but you've been brought here.
Oh. Yeah, let's make sure those are. I don't even know where my phone is. Where's my phone? Oh, over there.
Charging.
Let me put that on there.
I thought he would have a comlink, not a phone.
Put my phone on pleasure mode.
Anyways, starting that conversation over again. He says you've all been brought here because you are in possession of certain unique skill sets that are uncommon in the traditional army. You guys are mercenaries, pirates, thugs, and criminals. People that have been granted second chances, basically, to participate in something larger than yourselves.
Hey, but one question. We volunteered for this. Why are you acting like we're being volun-told?
He looks at you for a second. His bemused smirk gets a little bit bigger, and he says, because if you fail selection, we don't want you knowing where we are, and we don't want you remembering how you got here.
Also, they can write it off on their taxes.
Okay.
All right, well.
Do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Nah, I'm good. Is there a toilet on this?
He looks at you and says, look around. You're in a dropship.
Nope.
You just let it drop.
It's called a dropship for a reason.
He hits you in the head with his rifle butt.
Alright, as you guys look around, you can see that some of the other passengers, most of them are actually fully awake now. The Gamorrean's kind of straining against his strap, seeing if he can unstrap himself. Obviously, he can't. Not only because he's dumb as a block of rocks being a Gamorrean, but also because the restraints that you guys are in are fairly strong. He tells you guys if you look behind you, you'll notice each of you've been divided off into pairs, which are going to be your partners for the upcoming tests. Each of your teams has been augmented with a droid designed to fill any gaps in your skill sets. So that's the droids that are behind you guys.
I like this.
He says, this is the first in a series of tests that you guys will be undergoing, designed to evaluate your teamwork and your ability to adapt to stressful situations. What's going to happen is you guys are going to be airdropped into a large plot of land and forced to fight each other. The team that survives passes this phase of the elimination.
Oh, shit.
About that, right as he's saying that, he hits a button on the wall, and this wall behind you guys disappears. You guys
You
notice
aren't
that
gonna push us out, man, are you?
His smirk gets bigger.
His smile changes from a smirk to an outright grin. He presses another button, and you guys all get thrown out of the side. Fortunately for you guys, you're only about 15 feet off of the ground.
Well, hopefully you undid the restraints.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I don't know. Okay.
He pushes the button, they pop off, and you get sucked out.
All right. So.
So, perception check to check for cover.
All right. Well, let's perception check to see where we are, anyways. Are you get to erase real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let's just roll while we're.
I guess we could like put a break here.